Ladies and gentlemen, the Washington Post published an article and it says that CV seems to be infecting and killing men more than women. But I like how the US conveniently leave themselves off the chart. you know, so this came out in the Wall Street Journal April 2nd, 2020. More infected men than women seem to be dying from CV, according to data from countries hit by the pandemic, but an incomplete data set is clouding scientists' ability to understand why. The pattern underscores the role that sex and the associated social norms and behaviors play as an indicator of risk and response to infection and disease. They are profound sex differences in immune systems, and this pandemic is revealing them once again. Hmm. What is biology versus what are our social norms and gender behaviors confound our ability to understand what's going on. In Italy, men comprise about 70% of the deaths from CV. The illness caused by CV as of March 26, according to the country's National Health Institute. Men are more likely to be infected by the virus, especially if they are older with underlying health conditions, scientists say. In China, several studies show men comprise more than half of the infected patients since the first cases appeared in December. Sex difference. CV is infecting more men and killing a greater percentage of them. So you can see the chart on the screen: deaths by sex, ordered by case reports. So the dark blue represents men, the light blue represents women. So you are looking at, more than likely, these are the countries that reported their cases, and the US probably didn't. That's why you don't see them on there. So, Italy, and there are certain countries that have more deaths than China now. But you know what? China admitted they undercounted their people, which we are not surprised. China is notorious for that. Not shocking. So, as you can see, there are several countries that have quite a few deaths that you don't even hear about. Look at Denmark's and the Netherlands and Switzerland, and you see Spain, which we know they are exploding there, Germany and Italy. Okay. Past transnational outbreaks of illness, such as SARS in 2003 and the Middle East Respiratory Syndrome MERS in 2012, also pose double the risk of death for men compared with women, study shows. Men across the globe are now considered 3 times more at risk of dying in a hospital from CV, according to a meta analysis done by researchers at the University of Miami, Miller School of Medicine. The study, published by MedRx, a site for non-peer review papers, break down data published between January 1st and February 3rd on 4,789 patients. One reason may be that social behaviors likely to increase chances of infection and death from the virus, such as smoking. Well, see, smoking is a huge thing in China. China actually is one of the countries on earth that consumes the most tobacco. And they said, if you smoke, you're putting yourself at risk. And alcohol consumption are associated more with men. This could explain why they tend to suffer more than women from conditions such as lung cancer and heart attacks, according to a 2016 study published in the journal JAMA. In Italy, more than 7 million smokers are men, while 4.5 million are women, according to ISS. In China, the prevalence of smoking among men is 10 times higher than among women, experts say. What's more, scientists say the prevalence of the receptor that helps the normal CV enter human cells is higher in smokers, which might explains why more men are taking a blow from a disease that largely affects the respiratory system. The thing is, more studies need to be done around the world. I agree with that. So, this is only based on data that they have received. Countries differ widely in their healthcare capacities and responses, in which affects the number of people tested, as well as cases and deaths detected and reported. The US has the most confirmed cases worldwide, yet isn't releasing data broken down by sex. This, experts say, is hurting the medical community chances of protecting those most vulnerable to the disease. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention didn't comment. Gender distribution in the workplace also plays a role. Some scientists in Wuhan, China, speculated the virus prevalence in men could be tied to their dominance in the labor trades, which likely brought them closer to the local market where the pathogen is thought to have jumped from one identified species to people. Women have more robust immune systems, adding that they react better to vaccines and can clear infections more easily than men. Part of the reason being is that through pregnancy, women's bodies have learned to attack invaders such as bacteria, viruses, and sperm. For 9 months, a woman carries a foreign DNA in her body and must protect it to produce life. Evolution has been working this way for a long time, and it isn't just in women. This is true of animals as well. Sex chromosomes play a part too. Men have comprising X and Y, while women have two X's. The X, which has about 900 genes, many related to immune function, is about 3 times as large as the Y chromosome. So females have a double dose of those genes that can support their immune system. Researchers say that CV disparities, rising questions about possible gender related reactions to different treatments, and potential need for more aggressive treatment in men. Such would include um, I'm sorry, earlier intubation and mechanism ventilation through researchers say more data is needed to understand why. Now, my question is, just keeping this in mind, could men have really lived if these hospitals had ventilators? Because just from the last part of this, when they talk about giving men a more aggressive treatment, are most of these men dying because of the lack of ventilators? If there were ventilators in place, could they have lived? I'm just saying, this seems, it really does need more information. And this is why I'm saying this. Now, it's determining that more men are dying from CV than women, but they don't give you a breakdown of age. Now, the only article that I saw that gave a breakdown is one I did a video on, and it was saying that it was impacting more people here in the United States between the ages of 18 and 49. But this particular article that's telling you more men die from this than women, it gives you no breakdown of the ages of these men. What are the ages? What was the health background of these men? Did they have pre-existing conditions, or were these also a mixture of healthy men that also died? I mean, it gives you a little insight, but it's still not enough. And to be honest with you, I would have loved to see what the breakdown was in the US, but of course, the US didn't report anything, so it's not part of this article. And, when you really look at this, it doesn't even show you what the breakdown is up in Canada. We don't even know what that is. I mean, they are part of North America. So, what are their numbers? We're not hearing from anybody around here. What's going on in South America? Why is there no breakdown for them? You know, it just seems like this is a small handful of nations that gave us some idea, but until we see the numbers in the US, this is okay, but I want to see what's going on in the country I live in. But y'all, please tell me what you think. It's interesting, but I would like to know more about the condition these men were in prior to getting CV. You know, it's still not really technically enough information, but y'all, please tell me what you think. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.